Yes, sir. Good morning. Peace. Um, if you like this video, give me a like, man. If you got comments, about what is being posted, you know, speak on it. If you got questions about the topic, speak on it. You know, um, I take points of view. If you'd like to see other classes, I know I haven't touched on a lot of classes, but things take time. That's the first thing that I can say. This morning's class for a short period is the war class. Do you think that you're at war? Do you understand the Bible um, to understand that you're at war? Okay, everything is warfare, man. We are in war, and you must understand the game, the rules of the game, and the players that are on the board of the game, which is yourself. Okay, um, we all pieces on this board. We all pieces on this board, and you got to understand the creator of this game, and you know what's going down. So this is going to be short. Let's go into the book of Ecclesiastes. Let's go in the book of Ecclesiastes in the Bible, the 3rd chapter, and let's see what that says. Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter. It says, "To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven." So let's get straight to the point, the 8th verse. It says, "There is a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace." So where does war come from? Where does war come from? Okay, where does war come from? Why are you in war? Why are you in war? I mean, these are very important things for you to understand. If it's concerning the scriptures. So let's go Exodus 15:3. Let's go Exodus 15:3. Right? Exodus, the 15th chapter and the 3rd verse. Now, I'm just doing a run and shoot. This is not a prepared class, but it's a simple class. Exodus 15, verse 3. "The Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name." So what is war exactly? What is war exactly? War is two forces in opposition against each other. Let's see what the Lord created in this warfare structure. So let's go to the book of Revelation, the 4th chapter and the 11th verse, and understand what went down. The angel said, "Thou art worthy, O Lord, to receive honor and power and glory, for thou hast created all things." So warfare was created by the Lord. That's why he said, "For thou," the angel is saying to the Lord, "for you have created all things." See that? So the angel is saying to the Lord, "You have created all things. And for thy pleasure they are and were created." See that? So warfare was created by the Lord for his pleasure, for him to do it whatever he wants. Okay? So you being man, you're on the board. You're on the board. You're part of this game. Now you got to understand the rules and the regulations of this game and where you stand in this game and who your opponent is and how this game goes down. You got to understand that. You got to understand that. So let's break down war a little bit. Okay. So now we went to Exodus 15:3, right? Let's go into Apocrypha now. Let's go into Ecclesiasticus, right, to understand about war. The 30. Let's go Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, the 42nd chapter, and the 33rd chapter, right? Let's break down about war. It says, the 10th verse, and all men are from the ground, and Adam was created of the earth. In much knowledge the Lord have divided them and made their ways different. So when the Lord created the nations and stuff, he divided them and made them different. Everybody's not the same. Some of them he blessed and exalted, and some of them he sanctified and set near himself. But some of them have he cursed and brought low and turned them out of their places. As the clay is in the potter's hand to fashion it at his pleasure, so is man in the hand of him that made him, to render to them that like it him best. Good is set against evil, and life against death. So is the godly against the sinner, and the sinner against the godly. See that? So look upon all the works of the Most High, and they are two and two, one against another. See that? With crystal clarity, he's letting you know warfare. Okay? So now let's go, same book, Ecclesiasticus and the Apocrypha, the 42nd chapter, and we're going to start at the 20th verse. No thought escapeth him, neither any word is hidden from him. This is talking about the Most High. Okay? He has garnished the excellent works of his wisdom, and he is from everlasting to everlasting, dealing with time. Okay? Neither can he be diminished, and he have no need of any counselor. Oh, how desirable are all his works, that a man should see even to a spark. All these things liveth and remaineth forever for all uses, and they are all obedient. All things are double, one against another. See that? Warfare. So you must understand, whether you're a man or woman, that you are in a war. All things are double, one against another, and he has made nothing imperfect. So this warfare is not imperfect. The thing is, do you understand? One thing establisheth the good of another, and who shall be filled with beholding his glory? So let's further go on, staying in the Apocrypha, and let's see that. Let's stay in the Apocrypha. Let's go into the book of Wisdom of Solomon now and understand this war that you're in. And a lot of people, because they have a nice life, complacent, they do not believe that they're in a war. They really don't. Until the war comes to you. Until the war comes to you. Then you cry and you scream and you go, why? Why? Matter of fact, let me go into 2nd Ezra. Okay, so we're going into 2nd Ezra. We're going into 2nd Ezra, the 7th chapter. So you must read and follow along. Okay. Actually, Second Ezra, the 7th chapter, so that you can see about this warfare that you're in. Okay. And then I made an end of speaking these words which were sent unto me. The angel had been sent unto me the nights before. And he said unto me, Up, Ezra, and hear the words that I have come to tell thee. And I said, Speak on, my Lord. And then he said unto me, The sea is set in a wide place, that it might be deep and great. But put the case, the entrance was narrow, and like a river. Excuse me. Narrow like a river. Who then could go into the sea to look upon it, and to rule it if he went not through the narrow? How could he come unto the broad? So the Lord is showing you that this warfare is going to be a test. Are you going to get stronger? Are you going to get better? It's going to be a test. And there is another thing. A city is builded and set upon a broad field, and is full of all good things. The entrance thereof is narrow, and is set in a dangerous place to fall, as if there was a fire on the right hand, and on the left hand a deep water. And only one path. You see that? So now you're going to be tested, because there's only one way in. And that way is the Christ. John, the 10th chapter. Christ said, I am the door. There's only one way. And only one path between them both, between the fire and the water, so small that there is but one man can go there at a time. If this city was given unto a man for an inheritance, and if he shall never pass the danger set before him, how shall you receive the inheritance? So if you don't go into the battle, if you don't, number one, understand that this is a battle, and you don't set yourself up for it, how are you going to understand what is going down? How are you going to win? How are you going to win? And he said, It is so, Lord, that he said unto me, Even so is Israel's portion, because for their sakes I made the world. And when Adam transgressed my statutes, then decreed what now is done. Then were the entrances of this world made narrow, full of sorrow and travail. So now you in the battle. Now you in the battle. Things is not going to be easy for you. Mentally, spiritually, and physically. This is the battle that we in. That's why we die. Our bodies break down. Our minds break down. Spiritually, despair. All these different forces are on constant attack. Constant attack, breaking you down. Constant attack, over and over and over. Okay? So I'm just breaking this down for you. For the entrances of the elder world were wide and sure, and brought immortal fruit. So there we had love. There we had peace. There we had beauty. I mean, whatever was there for us, whatever we wanted, he gave to us. Now look at our lives now, man. Now look at our lives. Sorrow, hatred, envy, loathing, mistrust, all these different zones, loneliness, demons. These are all demons. These are all forces that are unseen. Chemicals, despair. These are all forces that are here, that are unseen, that we have brought into this world. Okay? That's why he says, for the entrances of the elder world were wide and sure, and brought immortal fruit. If then they that live not to enter these straight and vain things, they can never receive those that are laid up for them. So if you don't strive, warfare, if you don't strive, how are you going to win? How are you going to win? I remember when I was younger, coming here to America and stuff like that, Eddie Murphy. And, living in Bed-Stuy, I used to get beat up. I used to get robbed, man, by my own people. And I had to fight. Eventually, I had to fight. I had to learn how to fight, and get tired of getting beat up. You got to fight. So you are in war in your own environment. So these are tests, but you got to know your enemies and who you're going up against. Okay. Now, therefore, why disquieted thou thyself, seeing that thou art but a corruptible man? And why art thou moved, whereas thou art but mortal? So he further moves on to say, why hast thou not considered in my mind this thing that is to come more than that which is present? Then answered I and said, O Lord that bearest rule, thou hast ordained in thy law that the righteous shall inherit these things, but the ungodly shall perish. Nevertheless, the righteous will suffer straight things, and hope for wide. For they that have done wickedly have suffered the straight things, yet shall not see the wide. And he said unto me, there is no judge above the Lord, and none that understanding above the highest. For there be many that perish in this life, because they despise the law of the Father that is set before them. See that? Make sure that you're not of that nature, that you despise the law of the Father. For the Lord have given them straight commandments to such as came, what they should do, and what they should observe to avoid punishment. Nevertheless, they were not obedient unto him, but spake against him and imagined vain things. So if you're imagining vain things, speaking against the Most High, man, you got a problem. And have deceived themselves by their wicked deeds, and said of the Most High that he is not, and know not his ways. But his law have they despised, and denied his covenants, and his statutes have they not been faithful, and have not performed his works. And therefore, Ezra, for the empty are empty things. You see what you're going to get if you empty? Nothing. And for the full are the full things. Fill yourself up, man, with righteousness. Learn the book. Live the book. Let's further move on into this war. Let's drop to the 48th verse. And thou, O Adam, what is it that thou hast done? For though it was thou that sinned, thou art not fallen alone, but we all that come of thee. For what profit is it unto us if there be promises in immortal time, where we have done works that bring death, and that there is promised us an everlasting hope, whereas ourselves, being the most wicked, are made vain. See that? We are a wicked people, man. I never shunned from that. Never shunned from that. As I've always re-examined myself, my past. I'm not talking about what's written in the Bible, looking at my past. A lot of people, in listening and talking to people, they try to shun their past. Like, okay, well, it's the past and that's it. No. You must see. For you to understand yourself right now and where you hope to get, you must know your past. You can't just turn it off. The white man doesn't do that. That's why he builds towards a better future. You understand? See, like how you hit him in 9/11, or supposedly. So he builds back better. He says, I will destroy those nations that hit that. You understand? So they're not going to be able to do that anymore. It's going to have to be done a different way, because he looks at the past. He looks at the past. Okay? Let's further move on. And that there are laid up for us dwellings of health and safety, whereas we lived wickedly. And that the glory of the Most High is kept to them, to defend them that have led to a weary life. And there should be showed a paradise, whose fruit endureth forever, wherein is security and medicine, since we shall not enter into it. For if we have walked in unpleasant places, see that? Our life till now is unpleasant, man. Look at the hell that we exist in this world. And the faces of them that use abstinence shall shine above the stars, where our faces shall be blackened in darkness. For while we lived and committed iniquity, see, committed sin, while we lived and committed iniquity, we considered not that we should begin to suffer for it after death. You see that? So all the things that we're doing wrong now or have done, we think that there's going to be no punishment coming for it. We think that there's going to be no punishment. We just think that speaking to a young lady in the gym, she has 3 grown kids, and she says she walks around the house nude. So she's got a beautiful little daughter, a young son, and another daughter. The young son, he's a teenager. So I says, well, how can you walk around your house naked? She's like, well, I'm free. See that? So they commit iniquity, and they think nothing is going to be done. They think that there's no punishment for these things. For while we lived and committed sin, we considered not that we should begin to suffer for it after the death. Then answered he me and said, remember I told you that we are in war. This is the condition of the battle. See that? Which man that is born upon the earth shall fight, that if he be overcome, he shall suffer, as thou hast said. But if he get the victory, he shall receive the thing that I say. For this is the life whereas Moses spake, choose ye life, that thou mayest live. Nevertheless, we believe not him, nor yet the prophets after him, nor me which have spoken unto them, that there should be such heaviness in their destruction, or that should joy over them that are persuaded to salvation. And I answered then, and I said, I know, Lord, that the Most High is called merciful, in that he have mercy on them which are not, yet which come upon the world, and upon those things that turn to his law. Okay? So look at this well. And he that is of great mercy, for he multiplied more mercies to them that are present and that are past, and also to them that are to come. For if he would not multiply his mercies, the world will not continue with them that inherit them. And if he pardon it not, for if he did not so of his goodness, that they which committed iniquity might taste of them. Right? See that? So we are in a war, man. We are in a serious war. Okay? So this is the second video. This is just a short, just letting you know there are 4 enemies in the Bible. The first enemy is yourself. You are Adam. The second enemy in this war is Satan and his crew. These are the demons that can't stand you. Let me just read that right quick so that you won't say, well, how did he get that? Where did he get that from? This is Wisdom of Solomon, the 2nd chapter, the 23rd and 24th verse. It says, for the Lord created man to be immortal. See that? You was created to be immortal. But what happened? And made him to be an image of his own eternity. See, image. The Lord looks like man. Man looks like the Lord. Okay? The Lord has hair, woolly hair. The Lord has got brown complexion. That's in the Bible. And made him to be an image of his own eternity. But wait, what happened? Nevertheless, through envy of the devil. See that? So this is an enemy. And this enemy is envious of you. Came death into the world. And they that do hold of his side do find it. So, closing, I just was on YouTube and I saw a video of New York City detectives taking down 17 young black men that were gang members, killers, murderers. See, they're at war. They're at war. And these killers and murderers aren't killing other people from other nations. They're killing you. This is the war that we're in. This is the unpleasant place. This is the hell that we asked for, and now we have to deal with it. You understand? This is what we have to deal with. So you got to see and know that we are in war, man. We are in war. It's going to be cleaned up, but you must understand. You must understand hell. You must understand hell for you to want heaven. You must. So, closing out, this is short. These 4 enemies, starting with yourself as Adam, goes pretty deep. So I'm not going to be touching on that. The second enemy is Satan, goes very, very deep. That can be hours of classes. The third enemy, which is the Most High, for you to understand that is amazing. How this being that created us became our own enemy. You understand? In this condition that we're in. And the last enemy, 4 enemies, the last enemy is the nations. But they don't really factor into this game unless you understand self. That is the war. The understanding of self. The level of you are by you exposing yourself, by you opening yourself, by you really facing up to yourself in the mirror, not lying to yourself. That's Adam. That is the war, the first enemy, knowledge of self. That's the inner court. One day, hopefully, Lord bless me, I'll be able to do classes on that. With that, check out the video, give it a like. You got comments on it, thought process, and, hopefully I'll be able to build and keep flowing. Peace.